Today is May 3rd, and it's the fourth Sunday of Easter. Today the reading is from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. I tell you the truth, the man who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The man who enters by the gate is the shepherd of his sheep. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him, because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him, because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but they did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore Jesus said again, I tell you the truth, I am the gate for the sheep. All who ever came before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. He will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. God's word for the people of God. Today's message is called Gates and Doors. Today is Good Shepherd Sunday. We observe this Sunday every year from the Gospel of John. Jesus offers something of a mixed metaphor in today's passage. Jesus is both a shepherd and a gate. Lately, I've understood the importance of a gate. For the last several weeks, we've had a nightly visitor at our chicken coops. We figure that it's a coyote. In the beginning, it seemed that the intention was to dig under the gate of one of them. I eventually secured enough bricks, packed enough dirt, and dropped 2 pieces of cross ties at the entrance to dissuade him that his efforts were futile. Then he began working on a second coop, and every morning I go out to survey his work. He always tips over a cross tie leaned against the door. So far, my chickens are secure, and I am secure in the knowledge that they are protected. But during the daytime, under our supervision, we let them out to free range a little, and every evening we go and pin them up again. Despite the fact that I don't have a trail camera, nor have I found a track, I know that we have a threat to the well-being of our chickens. And Jesus claimed that there were threats to his sheep as well. Now, if you consider yourself one of his sheep, then you need to know what Jesus was trying to tell you that day. There are thieves and robbers. First, let's make one thing clear. The thieves and robbers were not the Jews. For Jesus certainly counted many of the Jews among his sheep. Then who were they? Well, in John's Gospel, it may be the Roman Empire and all those that joined them and abused the people of the empire. They promised to feed and protect their sheep, and they didn't. They robbed from the people and stole their dignity as a people. Although the emperor claimed to be a shepherd, he never really was. John says they didn't understand what Jesus was saying on that day, and so you and I may also struggle with this as well. Who are the robbers and thieves today? If Jesus' words make us uncomfortable, and they probably should, we're not hearing Jesus here advocate for being a separatist, because there is ample evidence in this passage and throughout John's gospel that he's not interested in excluding any new sheep. Just be aware that all aspects of culture do not encourage us to be good sheep. There are voices that try to drown out the shepherds, and they are often the loudest when times are good. Real good. They speak in dollars and in power and prestige and in good looks. They tell us that it's really all about us. We count more than anyone else, but they also come through in bad times as well. Look around you. You'll find plenty of greed and self-centeredness, and some of it under the disguise of democracy, where people say, my rights count more than the collective good of all of the people. Well, that's not how it works with sheep. Jesus does say that the shepherd will leave the 99 and go and find the one. But the ultimate purpose is for the one to be reunited with the 99. Which leads us to another idea about gates. Some scholars say that you should translate it as a door. I'm building doors for a barn that you can see behind me. My barn has been doorless for more than 20 years. I finished one side already and it looks pretty good. The question is, why build doors for a building that hasn't had them for such a long time? Well, maybe it's the fact that it's been my intention for it to always have doors. Maybe it's just time to show Kim that I really can build something nice. Or maybe it's just the fact that barns are supposed to have big, sturdy doors. And so are sheep pens. You see, sheep pens are also supposed to have the very best gate or door, and the one that knows the very best for the sheep, and the one that knows the very best for us today. Jesus is our gate. Jesus is our door. Jesus says, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. And he will come in and go out and find pasture. And Jesus says, I have come so that they may have life and they may have it to the full. The entire Gospel of John reminds us that Jesus is all about adding more sheep. These days, our doors are closed, literally. We have closed the doors of our homes and our churches. But Jesus reminds us that he will open the door for another sheep. And our hearts must always be open to the other sheep. The world is full of sheep, and they need us. We will open the doors of our churches again one day. May we remember that Jesus is our door, and he is the way in which people will find good pasture. As we close today, let's remember from ancient times the Hebrew people knew about the Good Shepherd. Join in with me as I share part of Psalm 23 as our closing prayer today. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. We are in a valley right now. Put your life in the hands of a shepherd, a gate, a door named Jesus. Amen.